Hi, I'm Helen. So, if you've heard the story of the Little Red Hen, you'll know how to make bread. Now, if you don't have any wheat to harvest, you can get some flour and some oil and some yeast, a little bit of salt and 300 millilitres of water. Mix them all together in a bowl and stir it really carefully. And then, making sure that your hands are super clean, even under your nails, take your hands and bring all of the dough together. So it will take a while, but soon you should have a nice squishy dough like this once you've mixed in all of the flour and the liquid. Then this is the fun part. Now make sure the surface that you're using has been cleaned, and you can sprinkle a little bit of flour, not too much, a little bit of flour on the surface, and that will stop your dough sticking. But you want your dough to be quite wet. Now, if you don't like having sticky hands from the dough, you can put a tiny bit of oil on your hands and rub it in, and that will stop the dough from sticking to your hands. And then you've got to knead the dough. Knead the dough for about 10 minutes. So you might want to take turns. Now you can throw the dough, you can punch the dough. It's a really good workout. You can pull the dough apart like this. Just be really careful not to drop any on the floor because food is precious. Now, remember, if you need help, you must ask for it. Who will help me knead the dough? Looks like I'm going to be eating this bread all by myself. Now, if you haven't heard the Little Red Hen story, I'll link my video, but I recommend you go and listen to it. And then, while you're making your bread, you can have a go at telling it yourself, because although I am a storyteller, the truth is you can be too. Anybody can be a storyteller. And storytellers do say that when you hear a story, you should tell it to somebody else before the sun sets. Okay, so that's my challenge to you. Whatever time of day or night it is when you're watching this, before the next sunset, see if you can tell this story to somebody else. And if you forget any parts of it, that's okay, because you can make something up and use your imagination, and that means that the story becomes yours. And that's how stories travel. Before we had books, everybody would tell stories to one another. So you don't have to have any kind of special superpower, because you already are a fantastic storyteller. And the more you practice, the more fun it becomes. Now this dough is starting to look like it's almost ready. And once you've made it super springy and squashy, you can find a loaf tin and put some oil in the loaf tin. Not too much, just about a tablespoon, and then get a clean piece of kitchen towel, or you can use your hands if they're clean, and you can wipe the inside of the loaf tin so that the oil is on all of the surfaces to stop the dough from sticking to the tin when it's cooking. And then it's ready. Now if you want to get fancy, you could press your thumb into the top to make some fun shapes. And there's your loaf. So we have to wait for the dough to rise. Okay, it takes time. So you can get some cling film or a clean kitchen towel, so you can make the kitchen towel a bit damp, and that can go over the top, and then you need to put it somewhere warm for 2 hours.
Get an adult to put it in the oven at 200 degrees. 25 minutes later, your bread should be ready to eat.